Justice Mark Fernando and appreciation. Justice Mark Fernando, who became a Supreme Court judge in March 1988 and who served as a judge until his premature retirement in 2005, passed away on 20th January 2009. His long career as a judge of the Supreme Court has left his mark by way of independent and thoroughly rational judgments. Perhaps the best of his judgment need to be which would be remembered would be in the area of interpretation of fundamental rights provisions of the Constitution of Sri Lanka. Over a long period, he interpreted constitutional provisions relating to arbitrary arrest and detention and right against torture in particular. Towards the latter part of his career, on various occasions, he often dealt with some of the major problems of Sri Lankan policing system by interpretation of the provisions of fundamental rights. He observed that despite of many judgments given by the Supreme Court, violations by the police, particularly in the area of torture, were on the increase. In some judgments, he made attempt to make the heads of police service and the armed forces responsible for the violations of rights of their subordinates. In a famous case of Gerald Mervyn Pereira, Supreme Court Fundamental Rights Cases 328/2002, he said, the number of credible complaints of torture and cruel, inhuman, degrading treatment whilst in police custody shows no decline. The duty imposed on Article 4D to respect, secure and advance fundamental rights, including freedom from torture, extend to all organs of government, and the heads of police can claim no exception. At least he may make arrangement for surprise visit by specially appointed police officers and or officers and representatives of Human Rights Commission and or local community leaders who would be authorized to interview and to report on the treatment and the condition of detention of persons in custody. A prolonged failure to give effective directions designed to prevent violations of Article 11 to ensure the proper investigation of those which nonetheless take place, followed by disciplinary and criminal proceedings, may well justify the inference of acquiescence and condonation, if not also approval and authorization. Quotation close. His cases should be studied carefully, as they lay bare the jurisprudence that he was trying to evolve in order to deal with perhaps the most disheartening developments in Sri Lanka in terms of the collapse of discipline of the police and the armed forces. He also made several significant judgments relating to freedom of expression and media freedoms. In several judgments, he expressed that the criticism of government is a right of the people and that the media should not be penalized for criticizing the government. These judgments remain a barrier to the executive for arbitrary intervention into media freedoms. Justice Mark Fernando's judicial career symbolically expresses the tragedy of the Sri Lankan judiciary in general and the Supreme Court in particular. It is said that Justice Mark Fernando, as a lawyer, also contributed to the drafting of at least some parts of the 1978 Constitutions of Sri Lanka. Whatever may have been the motive for this contribution to that constitution, the tragic events that were to develop in Sri Lanka, which also include the adverse environment in which the Supreme Court has to work, was formed by this constitution created by the first executive president, J.R. Jayawardena. The sole purpose of the constitution was to safeguard the position and the ambition of Jayawardena himself. The unfortunate manner in which Justice Mark Fernando himself had to retire prematurely was made possible by this constitution. This constitution hangs as a noose over the rights of everyone, and Justice Mark Fernando too had to pay a heavy price due to the internal contradiction within the judicial system because of this constitution. This is a tragedy that any person who has devoted his entire life for promotion of the jurisprudence of his country to be trapped in circumstances in which jurisprudence itself is regarded as irrelevant in the country. In 1978 constitution that created a one-man system destroyed the supremacy of the constitution and the supremacy of the law. As a result, lawlessness in governance became order of the day. Protection of individuals within the framework of law became impossible task. In the contest between the executive and the judiciary in the early years of the formation of United States, Chief Justice John Marshall, who was the first Chief Justice from 1801 to 1835, fought hard and laid foundation for the supremacy of the Constitution and the sole responsibility of the judiciary for the interpretation of the Constitution. It is that foundation that has provided the basis for the separation of powers and the independence of judiciary in United States, which has withstood the test of time despite of setbacks in some periods, like that of the administration of President George W. Bush. J.R. Jayawardena, knowing that the Constitution would become a hindrance to his ambitions for unlimited power, distorted the Constitution itself. The adverse consequences of this strategy is now felt in the lives of every Sri Lankan, including the judges. In extremely difficult circumstances, Justice Mark Fernando struggled to develop jurisprudence, attempting to interpret the Constitution as if no discontinuity has been created in the tradition of separation of powers. Thus, he reflected that there exists a contradiction between political reality and the legal reality in the country, a contradiction that will need to be resolved sooner rather than later. In the 200-year-old tradition of the Supreme Court, there is now a serious problem. Reflection into the life and the circumstances of Justice Mark Fernando must encourage Sri Lankans to undo the limitation on their freedom created by their constitution itself.